Hey everyone, it's Sasha and Sarah back again.
Back at it.
And yeah, and today we're going to talk about bandwidth, like your mental bandwidth and things that could possibly be stealing it and why it's so important. Um, I recently have been thinking a lot about bandwidth, and I can say that I didn't come up with this term or anything like that. My one of my unofficial mentors, Denise Duffield Thomas. I think I first heard her talk about like your bandwidth, like what you have the bandwidth for. And you can go listen to her podcast. She talks a lot about those things. But I started this year, actually not this year. It's been a while ever since I started like my own business and doing personal development stuff. And I got burnt out. I got burnt out and I thought, okay, like I don't have the bandwidth for XYZ. And this year specifically, I realized I don't have the bandwidth to do certain things, and that's like affecting my own like quality of life because I don't have the bandwidth to do the things that are important, the things that I really want to do, the things I value, right? So, I was talking about bandwidth, and I feel like it's something a lot of us kind of subconsciously realize. Like we'll be going through the day and we just know like we're getting tired or we don't want to do this. We get frustrated easily. And then but we don't maybe ever really sit down to think, okay, like what is stealing my bandwidth, you know? And when I started The Artist Way, that book, like doing morning pages and I wanted to lean into more creativity, but I think that was hard because I didn't really have a bandwidth. Like my thoughts were everywhere. So I don't,
Mhm.
does this resonate with you? Like, have you felt that way too, as far as,
Yeah, for sure. I think it was Rachel Hollis's book, in one of the books though. She's talking about how when you're starting like a journey of like say you're trying to get healthy or whatever, you start trying to change like everything. So you're like, okay, I'm gonna get up an hour earlier and I'm gonna eat and make myself breakfast, and then I'm gonna meal prep and just kind of doing all of these things. And then you get burnt out really fast because it's like you don't have the bandwidth or the capacity to do that yet. It's like more about like baby steps. So definitely um have felt that way. And I think especially with creativity, that's one thing that will end up getting pushed to the back burner because of that. Because I'm like, that's not really, it is important to me. And I know that now, but it's easy to kind of see it as like it not being important or like something that can wait, I guess.
right? Like it's not a priority because
Yeah,
other
definitely.
things seemingly are more important than you being able to lean into that. And I think when you were saying it's like it can be overwhelming to try to do all the things. That's why it's just so
Yeah.
important to create like those little mini micro habits to get to that goal because
Mhm.
it is overwhelming when you really want to make a life change. It can be a lot.
Yeah.
Um, but I noticed, I think for me when I was doing like thinking about the mental bandwidth, I would just know that like at the end of the day, like at 6 or 7 in the evening, I would start to be like, man, I am so freaking tired. Like my brain, I can't think another thought right now. Like, you know what I mean? There were times where
Yeah.
I would just be sitting on the couch like I can't do anything. I've done too much. I've used too much of my brain power today.
Yeah.
I can't even think about doing anything else. And then that really leads to a poor quality of life. You
Yeah.
know?
Yes.
So I got a planner and I did me and planners, I tell you. Like
I know the struggle.
I love a planner. Yeah, I love being able to time block and plan, and it makes me feel better. I feel like I have things more under control.
Mhm.
So why the planner seems to fall off, I've got to really get a handle on that. The planner out because I was like, I'm going to start time blocking because that seemed to really help me because I'm one of those people, I will get distracted so freaking easily. And my
Same.
phone is one of the biggest distractions of all time. I would notice that Like if I was working, I'd have my phone like sitting right here. I could literally be doing anything. I'll look over, I'll just see my phone and like mindlessly just look at this, look at it. I'm
Yeah.
not even thinking about it. I'm just mindlessly touching it and looking at it. And it was
Yeah.
noticing that I was like, this is crazy. Like, why
Yeah.
am I'm like addicted to my phone? And so then I started thinking, I noticed like I'd be on social media scrolling and I would notice how I'd feel tired after like scrolling social media. And I was like, something's got to change because I'm like addicted to this without even really realizing how much it's affecting. It's like stealing my thoughts,
Yeah.
you know? Like you could be in a certain mood. Like I could be in a totally good mood thinking, I'm doing some things, I'm getting things done. And then I'll get on Instagram, start looking at everybody's stuff. And then I'll just notice, like, I don't feel as good. I don't feel as
Yeah.
good. Or you'll start
Yes.
like comparing yourself, like, oh shit, look what they're doing. I'm not doing that.
Yep.
So that was stealing bandwidth. I think multitasking really steals bandwidth. There was a time where people would really prize themselves on being able to multitask. And I think there is some value in being able to multitask, but at the same time, I think it does take, I think it is too much. Like, I think it's hard to do really quality work if you're trying to multitask
Yes, I
all
agree.
kinds of things at once, right? Um, and overthinking, like if you are a chronic overthinker, that will just steal your bandwidth because you're like off on a tangent, overthinking about something that probably nobody cares about, that no one's even thinking about, but here you are over there like spending just, you can just see the flames coming, like you're thinking about that.
Yeah. Yes.
Think that it's really good to sit down and ask yourself like where am I like leaking some bandwidth, like what is stealing some bandwidth, what am I doing that really isn't moving the needle forward for myself or my family or my friends. Like that was something I noticed. I wanted to really start spending more time with people. I wanted to like be more in community with like women, especially. I wanted to like really lean into my female friendships. And I thought if I'm doing all this other stuff, I don't really have the bandwidth to like be there for my friends and family. And that was
Yeah.
something huge that I noticed. So what have you noticed? Like, what do you think steals your your bandwidth or, you know,
Uh,
most?
Definitely my phone. That's a huge one. And I have been really bad about like just doom scrolling in general over the past
Hmm.
like few months. And I have noticed, like you said, like I never feel better after like I've been scrolling for a really long time. My eyes will get like tired or like,
Yes.
and then I don't know. Like sometimes I can like be like, okay, like maybe justify it for like a few minutes or whatever. But like sometimes when you're lost in the sauce for like an hour, 2 hours, however long, then it's like like I don't know. It's just a waste. Like what a waste I just did. Like not saying that sometimes like that is how I like to relax too. I don't watch like a ton of TV. Like I look at my phone. But yeah, my phone for sure. And I definitely think that like trying to like back off of that has helped with um like I don't know, like I used to be like really into like celebrity gossip and like drama and things like that. And like I don't have the bandwidth for that at all. And I really feel like that like, social media really plays a huge part into it because I would, I'd see something like that and like looking and I'm texting. Like I
Yes.
was like, I really loved that kind of stuff. And then really like examining that and like realizing that that's not making my life any richer, knowing those things, or I don't know, just I think backing off of like social media and kind of celebrity stuff. Not saying I'm still not like, a little into it, but just definitely not
Not
as
as
much.
much.
And like,
Yeah.
um I think I think drama in general. Like I used to like really love like other people's drama and like work stuff. Like I always loved when there was like work drama going on and stuff, which I'm really lucky now I don't have a ton of that at my either of my jobs. But I think yeah, I think that it all kind of goes hand in hand though. Like I found a job where there's like less drama or there's really none. So then it's like I'm able to like start examining like why am I so into that in like celebrities' lives and things like that. So definitely my phone takes my biggest is my that's my biggest problem still. I think I'm sure
Mhm.
a lot of people can relate to that.
Right. Absolutely. I think the phone thing is huge. I also have been on my phone a lot. And I mean, I still am on my phone a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I am. But I have really tried to, I'm definitely aware of it
Mhm.
and know that putting some things in place would really benefit me. And I think too, it's hard to be present when you're like on your phone. And I often have thought like, what if I had a camera just like in my house that saw me like just wasting so much time looking at this screen? You know what I mean? Like, what else could
Yeah.
I be doing in my life right now? Like, I could be serving people. I could be doing like so many different things
Yeah.
that actually might matter than just like scrolling. And look, the thing for this episode is um have a chat with yourself. Like sit down, do some journaling and ask yourself like what are you kind of like on autopilot with? Because I know with my phone, it's autopilot. Like I was noticing I would just literally mindlessly pick that up and start looking and then I'm literally thinking about five different things that I just scrolled through, which eats up like all your thinking, right? Like you're thinking about five different things you just read about and then you're done, you're like shit, what was I doing? Like I'm
Mhm.
back in reality now, like what was I doing? And like literally none of that stuff that I just did contributed to my quality of life.
Oh,
So that was a huge thing. So it's like sit around and think like what do you do? um and like if you can you like get your time back? How can you get the time back
yeah.
in your day to really do the things you want? Like I like taking walks. I got a puppy, like I like spending time with her. I really want to start doing more things in person with people. Like I really want to do things more with my friends. I want to have like weekly stuff that we do and get together because I feel like as I've gotten older, it's gotten a lot more important to me to build that community of people just to be with, to talk, to support, like what would you like to do more of that you're not currently doing?
So I live in Florida and I know I don't want to live here forever. I'm really hoping that we move within the next like 2 years max. And I'm starting to make it more of a priority to do all of the things that I've been saying I want to do for about 7 years now. Um, which isn't anything like crazy. Just we live near the beach, which I'm not really a huge beach girly. I'm like 30 minutes from the beach though, so it's kind of like a whole thing to get out there. And then there's like tourist season and all that stuff, which is the worst. But I'm trying to make it more of a priority just to go out there. Just even if I'm not doing like a whole beach day, just get out there. It's gorgeous. Like I live on the Emerald Coast, like it's
I
beautiful,
know, yes.
so pretty. And I know that there's no other beaches like that. I know someday I'm really gonna miss it. So that's something. And then I want to start taking more pictures. Like I have a nice camera and I will get into it for a little while and then I'll like fall out of it. But something that I really have always talked about doing is taking pictures of the scenery here, just even like houses I've lived in and all that stuff, because I'm a huge pictures person. I'm a big like I love memories. I'm just so sentimental. And as I get older too, like your memories are so skewed different, you know what I mean? Like you're like, is that even
Yeah.
right anymore? So I want to take like a ton of pictures like while I'm here and like, that way I can like have a little album and like look back at it and stuff. When I move somewhere else. So yeah, I want to be more present and more like taking advantage of the things that I have while I'm here because I won't always be. So that is something that I am currently working on and like doing and it is getting like better here because it's not as hot. It's been so miserable. It's so hard to like make yourself go outside when it's like so hot. But yeah, so getting to the beach more and eating at more like local restaurants and things like that. That's something that I am really taking charge in because I've been saying it for too long. So
Yeah, like more experiences.
yeah, yes.
Yeah,
Because
I love that.
I love my home and I love my family in my home, which is Amara and my three cats. But I love being here with them. But you gotta get out there.
I
I'm
know.
like,
Yeah, it's like you got to get out amongst the living. I feel
yeah.
that just from working from home. It's like, wow, I am
Oh yeah.
alone.
Yeah.
I am alone. I haven't seen people. I see Sam, but he's like always in his room. So it's like,
Yeah.
I need to see
Yeah.
some people. Um, so yeah, definitely have that sit down, journal about it, what you really want to do. And I sent out an email a little bit ago talking about like, if this, if it was a year from now and you said like this was the best year of your life, like you had just had the best year of your life, it was September, whatever, 2024. It's like what would have happened? Like what would you have done? And I can
Yeah.
guarantee you I would not be putting on there like I was on my phone a lot. Like I was looking at Instagram, I was
Yeah.
on TikTok. Like that is not going to be one of those things that's going to make the list.
Yeah.
So that's just something to give some thought to. All right. We'd love to hear you guys in the comments, anything you have to say. And yeah, we'll be back.